Thank you very, very much. And we'll move on now to the St Albans Residents Association. Right. We weren't sure if you were here or not. So. Yeah. Good afternoon. Welcome. Oh no. Are you exhausted?
Yep, we made it.
You're exhausted.
As I hope you all know, we've been putting a lot of effort into the DEMP project at the moment, and it's taken a lot of our resources,
right,
which leaves us very tired in other areas. But good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon, giving up your beautiful Saturday afternoon. You might not know it, but it is gorgeous out there. No, maybe need some skylights. So my first submission for the annual plan is some skylights for the council chambers. So as you know, St Albans Residents Association, I have with me Mark Wilson, who is also a resident of St Albans, and he's here in support of we're here together to give the submission. So, and he's also been involved a lot behind the alternative plan for the DEMP. So, as most of you know, the St Albans Residents Association has been around for a long time, and we've put input a lot of submissions into the annual plan over the years, and it's been great to see that over those years the community's views have been included in the annual plan, and that community has made a difference in the planning of the future Christchurch. So thanks very much for that. We have two areas of concern today that we'd like to discuss that comes through the annual plan. The first area, which is still a major concern to us, is the CCC's consultation process. For example, I'd like to put the example on the table of the Northern Arterial. Sarah has been consulted on this for about 20 years, and for 20 years we've said the same thing. Public transport, please, public transport, and so far our community views have not been taken into account, and we today end up with a plan, the DEMP plan, which is still focusing on cars and not public transport and not community. So it's very unfortunate that the consultation process somehow hasn't improved, that our views of 20 years ago are not coming through in the plans that are being put on the table today. So something's wrong with the consultation process, and we'd like to see more effort in making sure that the community views come forth in the planning. So the current downstream effects management plan shows that the concerns haven't been listened to. And that the plan is actually dealing with the negative effects of planning, and we don't think this is appropriate, that we should actually be having to plan around negative effects. We should be living in a world where we are planning positivity. And we definitely feel that with that plan we are sorry, I've just lost my way, that we've not been listened to, and that we're having to deal with the negative impacts being managed. This is not good enough. The project is definitely being done to the community rather than with, and certainly not for the community. So in the consultation we want the for community to come first. The other issue is transportation plans as a whole for the whole of Christchurch. We'd like to see the City Council make sure that the funding that you put forward into any transport plan, and of course, we focus on the DEMP, but there are others, and so that the funding goes towards moving people, not cars, and focusing on the effects on the people. We don't think that any money should be, any council funding in today's world should be going towards managing car mitigation. It should be on helping us change our ways. Everything that we're looking at in today, I read something yesterday as well, for the world is in a drastic situation. Countries all over the world, England, Wales, Scotland, have declared emergencies. Do believe that New Zealand will be on its way of doing the same, very similar, at the very same time. And as residents, as people, we're being told that there are 3 things that we can do to make a real change. Firstly, cut down our meat eating. Secondly, to stop travelling in planes. And the third one is stop our dependency on cars. It's going to be hard for us all to do that. It's going to be very difficult for us all, and it's going to be very confronting for us all to do that. But under no circumstances will we be able to do it if we don't have our authorities helping us. If we do not have our authorities putting public transport and active modes of transportation first. So that's what we're asking you to do first in all planning. Please help us as residents do what we need to do to make the world better for those wee ones sitting in the back row up there.
To reduce our carbon footprint.
We need to reduce it. We all individually need to do it, but we can't do it if you're not providing us with the infrastructure to do it. And that needs to happen now, not in 10 years' time. It needs to happen now. And so you have the opportunity through some plans that are on the table right now that are in the annual plan for funding to stop them. So we sit here today and we ask you please to stop them. And I don't know what else I've written, but that's it. Mark?
Yeah, I just reiterate everything Emma said. So Sarah and the residents of St Albans, as well as Axel Wilkie, you might be aware of, you might not. We've been pretty proactive in actually getting the message out to other organisations, and I actually just also heard from this community here about urban authorities combining and actually pooling resources, working together for a better outcome, and that's what we've been pushing. But it all comes down to the Christchurch City Council, really, to be fair. You're the leaders with all these entities. You're the leaders, essentially, and so we're here as a community. I'm here as an individual as well, and a father, and a citizen of Earth, to say, come on, let's get serious here and actually do something about it. Yeah. Questions?
Questions? Yanni.
Thank you for your submission. Are you aware of the Future Urban Development Settlement program? And I was just interested if you participated in that process.
A wee bit, a little bit. We have been speaking to many groups, including the people who are involved in that future public transport group. It's still, from our view and what we're seeing as residents, people are still talking in the future, that all this planning is going on for the future, and it's very frustrating because the future's now. So yes, we're involved in it.
I think you talked about greater transparency around decision making, greater input into community views being presented, and that it was up to council. I just really wanted to get your understanding of the regional forces at play, particularly with things like the motorways going to the south and to the north, where there's kind of a regional group above us that's really in charge of all of these decisions.
Yep, so we've actually been quite proactive in trying to engage with the NZTA, if you're sort of meaning that entity, and so we're still waiting back for them to come back to us. Right. We've obviously had really good conversations with ECAN, contrary to some people's feelings about ECAN. They're actually been quite good with regards to what we've been presenting, but it comes through as there's just a disjunct. There's a sort of no real communication that's really, taking place. So I mean, when we went and actually met with ECAN, the first thing was it's not our problem, it's council's problem.
Yeah.
It was the first thing they said.
It's the urban development strategy, which the Mayor's got a great slide that shows you what people wanted versus what we've got, which has basically been motorways.
Yeah, and that's what we don't want. Yep.
Mike?
Sorry, just quickly, so obviously you've had some discussions with ECAN.
Yes.
And they're the ones that obviously look after the bus routes. Did you talk to them about actually putting express bus routes down there, and what was the answer to that?
The answer was yes, great
Yep.
idea.
It's pushing it.
So they said they're considering it?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also spoke with the Waimakariri District Council
Friday.
on Friday. A little bit slow, perhaps, on the uptake of the idea of carbon dioxide poisoning and cars, but they are moving forward in their thinking. So at the moment, they said they were very open to having HOV lane, and we tried to say to them that's still cars and still not good enough. So we'll be back to them next week at their annual plan submissions as well to get in front of them again and push the rapid express lane on the Northern Arterial. It is. Yeah, and this is what we're getting. Everything's pending at the moment on it, but we have this problem right here, right now, today, and the consequences are diabolical.
Yep. Look, thank you very much for your time, and I know that you're putting tons of effort into a whole lot of stuff, so thank you very much
It's
for
a pleasure.
what you do.
It's a pleasure. Thank you guys very much. Best council I've
Just
seen ever.
Just actually, one other thing,
We'll
so-
take another few minutes.
So
And we want to see more improvements.
we'll be here on Wednesday submitting to the oral submissions. So if any of councillors that are actually out of the area that are interested in having a look at the presentation, come along.
Yeah, I would do,
On
but
Wednesday.
I'm not here on Wednesday. I'm sorry.
Catch you later on.
Yeah, and another thing is, if anyone hasn't seen the presentation yet or would like to see it, please contact us. We're willing to come and meet with anybody at any time to show you the alternative plan.
This is Axel's one.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you.
Could we